There are certain biblical lines that almost everyone has heard before. But maybe these words were never meant to remain concepts. Maybe they were pointing toward direct experience, toward consciousness itself. Because the deeper you look, the more these words seem to point toward the same realization. Less control, less resistance, less identification with mind, and strangely, more peace. The Lord will fight for you, you just be still. Life is taking care of life. Grace is with you in every circumstance. You're not running the show, consciousness does. Everything is an expression of consciousness. You are life expressing itself through you. And maybe this is why suffering becomes so heavy when the mind constantly tries to control everything. Trying to control outcomes, trying to control emotions, trying to control life itself. But everything is already happening by itself. Your job is not to control life. Your job is to learn surrender, to be aligned with what is happening. This does not mean passivity. It only means moving together with life, knowing that whatever needs to happen will happen. What you resist persists. Consciousness will always do a far better job than personal preference. So hand the baton back to life and simply move from moment to moment. Fully present. This is enough. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Most people are functioning mechanically. Conditioned patterns are moving them without them even realizing it. A belief gets challenged. An identity feels threatened. A wound gets touched, and suddenly reaction appears. Conflict appears. Stress appears. Defensiveness appears. But from the moment you are triggered to the moment you react, that entire process is happening within you. Even if it seems directed toward another person, it is still your own inner process unfolding. Which means there is nothing personal to take. And the moment you take it personally, it becomes your process too. To be free is not to react unconsciously. People often act from fear, conditioning, and unconsciousness without truly seeing what is driving them. And maybe this quote was never pointing toward judgment. Maybe it was pointing toward understanding. What shall I say to the people who spoke to me? This points toward something deeply familiar. The inner voice, the resonance of I am, that silent knowing that appears when awareness becomes aware of itself. When awakening begins to happen, intuition becomes louder than the mind. Silence becomes more trustworthy than thinking. And slowly, the heart becomes a better guide than the intellect. Who spoke to me? Inner knowing. Silence itself. Silence does not lie. The mind often does. Thy will be done. Whatever is arising is okay. Whatever is happening is consciousness expressing itself exactly as it is. No need to fix anything. No need to fight any inner movement. Whether it is laughter, so be it. Because suffering often begins when the mind argues with what is. This should not happen. This must happen. My preference matters most. But life unfolds by itself, and peace comes the moment surrender begins. Not resignation. Surrender, trusting life enough to stop fighting its unfolding. Life does not make mistakes. Live in this world, but do not be of this world. There is no need to reject the world. Even the persona, the personal identity, is still appearing within consciousness. It too belongs. Yes, sometimes identification happens, but there is also a deeper knowing. You are not the persona. You are consciousness itself. Formless awareness, temporarily expressing itself as a person. And once this is seen, life becomes lighter. The mind no longer needs to dominate. It simply becomes a useful servant. Everything is still happening, but there is less attachment, because all appearances are consciousness. The seer and the seen are one. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Maybe this was never about weakness. Maybe it was pointing toward naturalness, pure being, the simple state of I am, before identity, before performance, before becoming someone, just being. And perhaps this is the highest state. Not becoming spiritually impressive, not collecting knowledge, but returning to the most natural state possible, pure beingness. I am that I am. Maybe these words survived for thousands of years, because they were never merely religious ideas. Maybe they were descriptions of consciousness recognizing itself. And maybe awakening is simpler than we think. Less control, less resistance, less identification with mind, and more stillness, more surrender, more presence. Just this.